Good evening. The Conservative MP for Bridgend has been found guilty of failing to stop and report an accident after crashing his car in the early hours in November last year. A court heard how Jamie Wallis fled the scene wearing a black leather miniskirt and high heels. He says he feared he was going to be attacked. He was fined £2,500 and disqualified from driving for 6 months. Matt Murray reports.
Leaving court today, the Bridgend MP didn't want to make any comments after being found guilty of 2 driving offences and being banned for 6 months. The crash was described by locals as similar to the sound of a firework in the early hours of the morning. In November last year, Jamie Wallis crashed his Mercedes into a telegraph pole on this road in Llanblethian near Cowbridge. 2 people who were at a dinner party close by went to see what had caused the noise and found Jamie Wallis behind the wheel of the car. In a witness statement, Adrian Watson, who was hosting the party, said he looked inside the car and saw a white male wearing a tight white top, a leather miniskirt, tights and high heel shoes behind the wheel. Mr. Watson asked Jamie Wallis if he was okay. He replied, "I'm sorting it, I just need a phone." Mr. Watson said, "I have a phone and I'm calling the police." At this point, Jamie Wallis walked away from the vehicle and down this street. The witnesses followed him for a mile and tried to make him stop and wait for the police. But a Land Rover owned by Mr. Wallis's father turned up, he jumped in it and they drove off. The politician said he was swerving to avoid a cat moments before his car hit the telegraph pole. Jamie Wallis, who was elected in 2019, became the first MP to come out as transgender in March. He told the court he had been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder after being raped just months before the crash. In a statement to police, the Bridgend MP said he left the scene because he was in pain and shock and fled because he feared he would be attacked. Mr. Wallis told the court that the crash had triggered a PTSD episode and he feared for his safety, and when he saw a group of people approaching the car, he felt anxious. He also told the court that the fear was all-consuming and that he was absolutely terrified, and that's why he left the scene. Today, the judge said PTSD was not a defence, and he was found guilty of failing to stop and report an accident and guilty of leaving his car in a dangerous position. He was cleared of a charge of driving without due care and attention. Mr. Wallis was fined £2,500 and disqualified from driving for 6 months.